Our 9-year anniversary is coming up this Monday, which I guess is June 18th at June 18th at Cafe 290. We started 9 years ago. The band had been together a little bit before we actually started that kind of residency at Cafe 290. But yeah, it's 9 years. It's coming up. It blows my mind how quickly it just flew by. Just week after week and month after month. I mean, just time in general. But the fact that this band and these guys and gals now, we got Marla Feeney in the band playing baritone saxophone. We've been together so long, so we're excited. We're gonna blow it out this coming Monday.
Now, I know the kind of certain members of the band kind of float in and out depending on availability. Kind of, have you pretty much kept your same core in place, and then kind of give me an idea of who your core is?
Yeah, the core band is still pretty much the same. A couple guys have moved out of town, and a few guys have retired over the course of the 9 years. But yeah, it's basically the same. Mace Hibbert plays lead alto saxophone. Sam Skelton's in the band. He's kind of our second alto saxophone player, but he also plays Barry when we need him, lead tenor when we need him. Guy's amazing. John Sanford's been with us since the beginning on tenor. Mike Walton joined the band about 5 years ago, I guess. I think it was 5 years ago. He's great. But then, of course, Wes Funderburk, lead trombone, Tom Gibson, Lee Watts on bass trombone. We've had a couple different lead trumpet players over the years. Mike Berry started out with us and played with us for years, and then moved to Nashville, where he's tearing it up there in the studio scene. Chip Crotch now plays lead for us, along with Hardin Butcher. Kevin Lyons on trumpet has been with us forever. Our fourth trumpet kind of rotates between Melvin Jones and Dr. Gordon Vernick. Our bass player, Neil Starkey's been with us since the beginning. In fact, I've been playing with Neil since I became a professional musician. I think it was 1995. Whenever I got out of college, 94, I started hiring Neil. Justin Barnes plays drums. He's been with us since the beginning. And of course, Dr. Jeff Hayden on the piano. So the core group is there. And as you said, guys kind of come in and out of the band based on availability. Well, a lot of these guys, travel and perform all over the country with different acts too. So I get them when I can. I just said availability. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Availability. I got it right.
Yeah, it's a tricky word sometimes.
I know.
That's pretty cool. So for the most part, the big band, well, I always had a kind of curious about this. So when you put together a big band, what made you pick 16 pieces versus, I guess, 14 or 18 pieces or 20 pieces? Like what determined that number? Just out of curiosity.
That number really is the basic big band setup from back in the day, whether it was Count Basie, Tommy Dorsey, Glenn Miller, Duke Ellington. You generally have 4 trumpets, 4 trombones, 5 saxophone players, piano, bass, and drums. Usually you would have guitar as well. I chose not to go with guitar at the beginning just because it was one more mouth to feed, and I didn't feel like at the beginning we needed it. Now we tend to sometimes have Trey Wright join us on guitar, but a lot of the arrangements that I had written for the band over the years, I think over 100 arrangements, most of them Wes Funderburk's, were not written with guitar in mind. So it works perfectly the way it is. I certainly, now with this new song, Go Get It, which is kind of a poppy feel to it, I like when we can add guitar. I'd also like to add a percussionist at some point, but it's just, some of these stages you get on, we're just cramped up. We play the Blue Note in New York, we can barely move, but that's your basic setup. I mean, it can fluctuate one way or the other a little bit. I think Ellington's band only had 3 trombones, but it works good. It works good for the way we not only write for the band, but the way that we if we play a stock arrangement from back in the day, whether it's a dance number like In the Mood or I don't know, just that's the size of the group that they were writing for.
Now, as a big band, people have a lot of memories of Duke Ellington big band and Cap Calloway and all these kind of guys. Kind of, what are some of the things when you guys go out to play that the audience kind of really wants you to get into a little bit more as a big band? Is there a particular artist or a particular song they want you guys that's become really popular with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends on where we're playing. If we're playing a dance or if we're playing an actual concert. But the crowds seem to really enjoy a mixture of the brand new arrangements of the old standards. They love Wes Funderburk's arrangements. They're always requesting them. They're always asking for specific ones that he did. For instance, Cherokee, which is a great one that he put his touch to, and My Blue Heaven. but they also like to go back and hear Sing, 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 you know, or In the Mood. They love those songs as well. Sometimes when we play concerts, they like when we do the new stuff like Go Getta, or Ray Charles, What I Say. What I's not really a new one, but that's a new one for us. That has more of a traditional pop feel to it, you know. So they like the songs that have the different grooves to them. I would say at the dances, when we play the dances, like the Vista Room, we do that every 2 months. I think our next one is July 22nd, and that's more of a dinner dance atmosphere. So those nights, man, they want to swing. They want to hear Benny Goodman. They want to hear Woody Herman. They definitely want to hear Count Basie. But there's really no, you know, our biggest request is for the Sinatra version of My Way. We usually do that at the end of our shows, and I think everybody can relate to that song, and people come up and dance to that. But in general, it's just a really talented group of guys and gals that play swing music. And, we're fortunate to be able to do it in this town.
Yeah, I know people would have a strong reaction to your band and your music, and to you in particular as well. Because in addition to being a excellent trumpet player, you also sing on a lot of these songs.
Yeah.
Is that something that you kind of always knew that was going to happen, or you just like was kind of trying it out? How did you get into the singing part? Because I know a lot of people, you know, musicians, they kind of are hesitant to do the actual singing and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I was pretty hesitant too, to be honest with you. I was not really interested in singing early on in my career, but I think it was about 1996. I was playing at a restaurant called Veni Vidi Vici, and I was there every Sunday and Wednesday night. I had Bill Anshell on piano and Neil Starkey on bass. It was just a trio, and we were there about a month or two. And the manager came up and he said that everybody enjoyed the band, but that we needed to hire a singer because folks wanted to hear the words to the songs. And I was fine with that. I had no problem. And I asked him for, I think we were making $50 or $60 each. I said, give me another $50, I'll get a singer. And he said, well, I don't have any more money in the budget. I said, well, how am I going to get a singer? And he said, well, I'll have to get another band if you can't get a singer. And I said, well, you know, I sing, and I completely lied. And he said, all right, starting next week, you sing. So I rushed home and went over to my parents' house, begged my father, who's a great singer, to help me learn a few songs and just teach me a little bit about singing in front of people, you know. So he taught me I'm Old Fashioned and one or two other songs. And I came back the next week and I started to sing, and I was horrible, but I could even notice that the crowd, that the people there were kind of lifting their heads and looking over and smiling and clapping a little more. I think people want to hear the lyrics to these old songs. So it was a good lie. And that kind of became something that I do. It's just part of my little bag of tricks, man. You know, I love to sing. I love to learn what these songs are about, and then play trumpet on the songs. I could rest my lip when I'm singing. When I started the big band, I knew that I would have to sing in a little bit of a different style. I couldn't really channel the Chet Baker vibe too much. My voice really hadn't developed when I first started the big band, but I needed to sing with more power. So I started to practice and sing along with Sammy Davis and sing along with Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and try to fill up a little bit more sound. And it started to come, and now I love it, man. It's, you know, I almost sing more now than I play when I do shows with the big band.
Yeah, that seems to be the way musicians really transition their career as well. I know George Benson did it, Nat Cole did it. So there's even Louis Armstrong, you know, when they started to sing, kind of really seemed to take it to a whole nother place. But would you mind if that kind of happened to you, where you just became like a, you know, more of a Harry Connick versus, you know, a Miles Davis versus, you know, kind of artist?
I struggle with that thought all the time. I wish I had Harry Connick's money. I'm just kidding. I think Harry Connick's fantastic, and of course I'm a huge fan of Miles Davis. So I mean I'm kind of right on the I'm right in the middle of both of those. If my career kind of took off and I was singing more, I'd be completely fine with that. I'd have no problem with that. But there's really nothing like closing your eyes and playing your horn and improvising on a tune and interacting with the other musicians. So I could go either way with it. Now, I do know that the singing has brought a little bit more notoriety to me and to the band. I think it's just has a lot more to do with the fact that they recognize the songs, they recognize the lyrics, especially our crowd tends to be people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and kind of on up from there. So, but I really have no specific preference to it. No, I just like to make music, you know.
Mhm. Now, do you practice singing like on a regular basis, like you would as a trumpet player? Like, are you doing the throat exercises and the lemon and all that stuff?
I should be, but no, I don't really do probably the proper technique to singing. I did for years sing along every single day with Sinatra's In the Wee Small Hours of the Morning record. The whole record is ballads, and I would try to hold the notes as long as Frank. I would try to phrase similar to him. I would try to sing in tune, you know, like obviously he was singing almost perfectly in tune. So I would sing along with that every day. And now when I feel my voice getting tired, or I feel like I'm out of shape vocally, I'll put that on and I'll sing along to that. But I certainly don't sing scales and things that I probably should be doing to protect my voice and to get better. It just seems, life is so busy. I just carving out time to play the horn seems difficult these days. But I really should, and I've been asked that question a lot. I really should. It's become one of my instruments, and I should take a little bit better care of it.
All right. Well, I know people who are also out there when they're interested in hearing both your instruments, your vocal and your trumpet. So I know you have a few gigs coming up. Kind of tell us a little about what you got going on, in particular the ninth anniversary celebration at Cafe 290. If I haven't spilled the beans beforehand.
Yeah, that's coming up, man. That's June 18th, Monday at Cafe 290. Make your reservations if you want to come out and hang with us. It's going to be fantastic. It'll be packed with people. The fan base, especially at that club, has been fantastic and always makes us feel like rock stars. So we really enjoy playing there. So we have that coming up, of course, every Wednesday night. I'm at Valenza Restaurant in Brookhaven, which has really become kind of a nice little music hang. You know, musicians come out and sit in with us. Crowd is really cool, man. They sit around and they have their Italian food and their wine and they request songs. Tuesday night is my Venkman's Jazz Jam session. I've had a jam session now for, I want to say, almost 15 years. Wow, that's another one. Maybe not 12 years. We did it at Twain's for years. Now we're at Venkman's, so that's going well. And then we just continue to perform around town and travel. I know we're doing the Callan-Wald Jazz on the Lawn series. I forget my date, but I know it's in July. We're staying busy though. We're very, very happy. Our big goal this year is to get this record Go Get Out there, and I think that we're going to be on XM radio coming up. I think we just got the okay for that, and some other really, really cool radio stations and streaming sites around the world. So we're excited. We'll just keep pushing it and keep trying to make it happen.
All right. So for those who are interested in kind of following what you're doing over the next few weeks, and supporting your new music, how can they do so?
Our website, joegransden.com, is usually pretty up to date, and then we have a nice Facebook page. And I'm always social media. You know, I'm one of those guys that's always promoting gigs that way. So we're out there, but certainly the website is the best place to go.
All right, we're here with Joe Gransden, the very busy, the very talented, multi-dimensional artist, Mr. Joe Gransden. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
All right, dear. Thanks a million.